All right, welcome back to our first episode or our first segment, whatever you want to call it, of college confessions here on Your Relationship Sucks! Exclamation point.
Exclamation point.
We're gonna do this is our series that we're doing for a little bit younger, right? A little bit younger people, trying to get some knowledge down, trickle that down to people who really need it, who genuinely need it. You know, they haven't been through the ups and downs, they haven't been through the heartbreaks and just all the dumb, stupid shit that they're gonna do. So we're trying to help them at least uh, do a little bit less of that. You know, they're still gonna do dumb stuff. We're trying to do a little bit less of that. So this is our
Just a little bit.
yeah. So this is our college one. You know, so what do you got for us? Our first college age.
Okay. The first one is I, a 19-year-old female, don't know how to stop being dependent on my boyfriend, 19-year-old male, for happiness.
Hold on. Okay, so we gotta remember, you know, it's the same. It's initial reaction. You know, it's my initial reaction segment.
Yeah,
here.
that was like the title.
Oh,
so
that was the
I
title
forgot.
still. That was the title still.
That was just the title.
Oh,
but I
that's
mean,
a
the
long
first
title.
You know, I think we should do initial reactions after like the title, because what I'm learning is the first sentence is just how long they've been dating their significant other most of the time.
That's all this is. All right, so it's just the title.
The next sentence,
right.
which has been since we started, has been pretty consistently the first sentence. So you react to the title from now on. I'm changing the rules.
Okay, all right. On the fly. This
Apparently,
is live.
I have
This is live.
some say in this.
This is live TV right now. This is live. This is behind the scenes. All right, so this is a hard one, right? This is a hard one because young people. This generally happens with the young people. They fall into this trap, you know, where they
male or female, really.
Yeah, 100%. But I'm gonna say it's his fault. I'm gonna say this one is him doing the thing where he's trying to make her dependent on him. That's what I think happens. That happens a lot. I know. That's what I'm gonna guess happens here.
Okay.
So I'm on her side. I'm pro the question asker right now.
Okay. I have been dating my BF for over a year now. Before I was with him, I was going through a lot of things, although I wasn't sure whether I was suffering from depression or not. So when we started our relationship, he really helped me get out of that state, and I was much happier. Fast forward to a few months after our honeymoon stage is over, he got really busy because of uni. And whenever he's busy, I always feel sad and wait for him to have some free time to spend with me. It sucks because I'm so dependent on him in order to feel happy, since I don't know how to feel content when I'm not with him. It's like I can't function properly without him. I can't concentrate on studying or doing my assignments. Any advice on what I should do? So it doesn't really sound like she's blaming her boyfriend or, you know, and she's saying, you know, it's like, it's a very mature reaction to it. It's like, I understand this is not healthy. What should I do?
Disagree with that classification.
You're going to agree, but
disagree with that classification.
I think
definitely not a mature reaction to this. Maybe pretending to be mature by asking a question in that way, but based on the words she's saying, absolutely not a mature reaction to this. Any mature adult, any like actual functioning human being who is legitimately independent would find something to do with their time. Right? Like you can't just sit around all day and wait for somebody to be ready to do something, right? Now, I understand the appeal, right? Like this is puppy love, right? Like this is full on puppy love. They've been together for a year. It sounded like maybe this is the first year of his university experience. And so, you know, they would have had, you know, I mean, like high school kids, you know, high school guy was like, man, I'm so busy, you know, whatever. I'm like, no, you're not. No, you're just not. Like, I'm sorry. You're just not. Like, high school, for most people, high school's not that busy. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you got some stuff or whatever, but like,
yeah,
you don't realize until you're an adult, like, right? Until you like get out in the real world, like how much time you actually waste. You know what I mean? And you know, honestly, it usually takes you quite a bit of time in the real world to understand how much time you actually waste too, right? Because then that's when you're going to get real depressed. Like in your late 20s, you get like super depressed because you're going to be like, oh man, like I wasted so much time. I should be doing this. Because like all the people who didn't waste time, which is not a lot of them, but all those people, they're going to go out, they're going to do something, and they're going to like kind of jump you, and at least perception wise, like in your head, like they're going to jump you in life, and you're going to be like, oh, I'm wasting my life, right? And then you're going to look, and you're like, I wasted a ton
Yeah.
of time. And then most of you, spoiler alert, not going to do a goddamn thing differently. You're just going to keep doing the dumb shit that you do and just waste more time. But I totally understand this girl saying like, now I have like a relationship, and then the dynamic changes, right? And that happens in real world too, right? Like, because again, like this is college, like this is not the real world. Like you're just not in the real world. High school, college, it's not the real world, but it feels like real world problems, and they mirror those types of problems, right? So like when you actually get in the real world, there is a difference, right? Like some people get busy, they have busier jobs, they have more activities going on, whatever it is, and then the other person, kind of feels like, oh man, it's kind of slipping away, or like we don't spend as much time together, stuff like that. That happens. What I would say to her is this doesn't have anything to do with your relationship, right? Like this guy might be ignoring you, like all of those things. That might be true. I don't know, right? That's a different
It doesn't
diagnosis.
even
Now,
seem like what she's
no,
saying.
no, but what I'm saying is like she's not saying that, but that's because she doesn't see it that way. What I'm saying is I don't know that part of it. So that could be
Yeah.
another additional part of it that we don't know. But regardless of that, whether or not he's ignoring you, you have a bigger problem here, right? And your bigger problem is that you're not doing anything with your time. This is a you problem. This is not it's not a relationship problem. This is how you are, right? People, a lot of people are like this, but people who don't want to, I guess, sort of take the initiative, right, to like really do something, they're going to feel like this a lot, right? You're going to feel like this. You're going to feel stuck. You're going to feel like, man, I wasted a lot of time, like all that. What she needs to do, because that's what she's asking, right? Like, what should I do? You need to find something that you liked to do. I don't care what it is. Literally doesn't matter. I don't care if it's whatever. Find something you like to do while you're sitting by yourself, wasting all this time. Maybe you like to watch TV or doodle or whatever it is that you like to do. Find something that you like to do and turn that into some sort of project related to that. If it's art, create some sort of art project, right? If it's I like to watch TV, create some sort of project out of watching TV. I don't care. You shoot a video, and you watch it, and you like shoot like reaction videos, or you try to start some sort of online something about discussion forum or something. It doesn't matter. Whatever it is that you're doing to waste time, turn that into a project. That's what you need to do. You need to do something to keep yourself busy, because what that's going to do is it's going to help you understand how to create things for yourself. And I know that's hard. I know it's a difficult thing, whatever, but you need to know that you can do something independent of another person. It's not related to him specifically. It's not related to this relationship specifically. This is going to happen to you with your friends. It's going to happen to you with your boyfriend. It's going to happen to you with your husband. It's going to happen with everybody in your life, with your family, everybody in your life. And so you need to understand that you can do something for yourself, and that you can start something, and you can find something that you like to do. That's what she needs to do, in my opinion.
Yeah, I do not disagree with you. I do want to point out that if you're suffering from depression or there's some other things, it sounds like she feels better. And if she was depressed, that she didn't necessarily fully address that. She just found someone who was masking the feelings for a little while.
Mhm.
And now that they've settled into the relationship, she's realizing that there's still something with like in her that's making it so she needs another person to like rely on emotionally to feel content. I think that no matter what, even if you are depressed, your advice is a really great, like even if you're clinically depressed, your advice is a great way to figure out like something to do that makes you happy. Because part of being depressed is that you just don't find a lot of things like enjoyable. So, I mean, it can be hard at first, especially if you are suffering from some form of depression, to find whatever you're saying, like, if you do like videos, like do reaction videos. You don't even have to show them to anyone ever, and I think people make it more complicated when you say like, oh, find something you enjoy. It's like just very basic things. It's like, oh, you have to read, you have to, go play basketball or do these things, but that's not necessarily what it is. If you like to doodle or write in a journal, or, you just like to bake cookies, very specifically bake cookies, just
Right.
do that more, like it doesn't matter. And that's a good way to get out of being a little bit depressed, because, this feeling is not really something that just happens with a significant other. Some people get overly attached to friends, like you were mentioning. I think one of the biggest things I've heard, and I've been, I went to college for like a decade. So it took me a while. So I heard this many times repeatedly over a span of, it wasn't just like my age group, it was consistent. The thing people miss most about college, and the hardest adjustment after college, is the feeling of constantly being alone. Because in college, there are so many things you're plugged into. You have social, like groups that are academic, you have social groups that aren't academic, you can go to the library with someone, you're rarely even studying alone. It's a very high contact social thing. Even if you're an introvert, you still have friends that are like on your schedule. So the hardest adjustment after college is honestly realizing that you're like alone in a way. Not even in a bad way. You just have a lot more time to think about yourself. And yes, a lot of times career takes up a lot of time. And some people mask this by going to like happy hour constantly and doing a lot of other things because they can't cope with that like loss of constant contact with other humans. But it's a really natural feeling that a lot of people don't talk about right after their senior year, or they don't prepare people to. I do like mentoring, and that's one of the things I mentioned to seniors is like, if you're feeling that loss, it's normal. Maybe you want to like volunteer or something, but at the same time, like accept that you're going to have like a little bit more time in your life. And that's like not a bad thing. Like having time to do things you enjoy is not a bad thing. It's a hard adjustment if you're not used to it. And if you're in a similar situation and you do think that you're depressed, like go see a doctor, go get that checked out. Like maybe you are, and you just need to like get, work with medications for a short amount of time, and then you'll like kind of work through that and be better at it. It might make your life a little bit easier instead of like relying on a non-professional partner. That eventually, that's not a healthy relationship for your partner, so they might realize that and not want to be in a relationship anymore too. And that's not really your fault or their fault, but it's your fault if you aren't doing something about it and you know that you might be depressed.
Yeah, you turned that way more serious than I thought that was going to go.
I apologize, but I
No,
do think it
no,
needs
I
to
mean
be said.
it's right. No, I mean you're right. You're 100% right. Look, if you're depressed, like yeah, whatever, like that's the thing. But look, if you're depressed, at some point you're gonna have to do something. You just have to get off your ass and do
Yeah,
something. Okay, I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying you don't need medication. I'm not saying any of that shit. Yeah, great, go do all of that. But guess what? You're gonna have to do something. Okay, so what I'm saying is find something you like to do. I don't care if you show it to anybody. I don't. It doesn't matter. You're right. You're 100% right. That's a great point to bring up. I don't care. Like that's fine.
yeah,
If you want to doodle, great. Say I'm gonna doodle and I'm gonna cover this entire wall in doodles. That's it. I'm just gonna cover this whole wall in doodles. Like put up some paper, do whatever. I don't care. Like it doesn't matter. Get that shit Amazon to you. Whatever. You don't have to leave your house. You can roll out of
yeah,
bed. You don't even have to get up. You can just go crawl, get the package, get it out, tape it up, and just doodle on the wall, and that's it. And then go back to sleep and wallow and do whatever. Like that's fine. But at the end of the day, you're gonna have to do something, right? Because everybody who gets out of depression is gonna have to do something. But maybe you're depressed, maybe you're not. I honestly don't know. But either way, whether
yeah,
you're depressed or
no,
you're not depressed doesn't matter. You are someone who is growing too dependent on other people. Like I said, it's going to happen with your boyfriend. It's going to happen with your family, with your friends, with all those people.
yeah,
And you're going to figure that out eventually. And so that's what I'm telling. So I'm giving you a step-by-step direction.
hmm,
This is what you do. I don't care what it is you do. Like you said, you want cookies? Great. Bake a bunch of cookies. Throw them out the window. I don't care what you do with them, but keep baking cookies. Bake more cookies. Try a different type of cookie. Try to make it from scratch. Try to make all kinds of different whatever. Doesn't matter. Whatever it is that you like to do. I don't care what it is. You show it to other people. Don't show it to other people. You have to do something in order to do that, because that's going to help you expand your horizons and get going even further in the future. Right. And so you're not going to fall into this trap, because this happens to a lot of people. They fall into this trap to get super
hmm,
sad about all these things. So you're 100% right. If you're depressed, like go get help, go do that stuff. And I'm telling you, this is what you're going to have to do in order to get out of that, because that
yeah,
medication, it's not going to help you all by itself. All those things.
no, not at
Eventually, you're
all.
going to have to get out. You're going to have to do something. So this is exactly what you need to do. And so it's not your fault that you're doing this. It's a trap that everybody falls into, but it's definitely something you know, that you need to figure out for yourself, because this is going to be a recurring problem. You're going to keep having this problem. You don't listen to this
Yeah.
advice, you're going to keep having this problem for the rest of your life. I guarantee it. You will keep doing it until one day you finally say, I'm done.
Yeah. I mean, I have nothing to add other than no matter what the situation is, if you are depending on someone else for your happiness, something is not going right. You need to take the steps to realize that whatever it is in life, like, you need to be happy being on your own at some point. So, you know, get that hobby. If, you know, she's the one who threw the depression into it, which is why I brought it up. You know, if you think you're depressed, do something about that. Don't say, I think I am. Know that, you know, talk to a doctor, understand what that actually means. That word's thrown around a lot, you know, so people, you know, people say that and that they casually drop it, but they're not actually, and then sometimes people are, and they don't get the help that they need to make it a little bit easier. But you summarized it as just, it's not even a hard step. It's, you know, the first step is identify what you like. The second step is turn it into something you can consistently do, at least a little bit every day.
Yeah, no, and you know, I mean, look, depression, like, yeah, whatever, it's real. You know what? Other people just
Yeah.
get sad, man. Sometimes you just feel sad. I don't know
Yeah.
what to tell you. That's not necessarily depression. Maybe it is. I don't know. Go figure it
Yeah.
out. But either way, you're gonna feel sad for the rest of your life. It's gonna happen different times.
Yeah.
I guarantee it's gonna happen to you. This is how you get out of it, whether it's real, actual, legitimate clinical depression or it's not. This is how you get
Yeah.
out of it. You find anything you like or something that you don't hate, something you don't loathe, and you'll sit there and you'll do it, and then you keep doing it and you keep doing it, and you keep doing it until you do something else and something else and something else, and then you're back to normal. Eventually, that's different times for different people, but that's how you do it. Again, that's a step by step. That's exactly how you do it. That's what this girl needs to do. Stop depending on your boyfriend so much. Stop understanding. You can wait for him. You can still wait for him, but you better be doing something while you're waiting for him so that you understand that he is not the key to your happiness. He is not the one that is driving, and you are not on his schedule anymore, because I guarantee you do that enough, and what you're going to find is that now when he's ready, you're busy because you got something that you like to do, and he's going to have to deal with that as well. He will, and that's the way life works.
Yeah. And you'll each have your own individual parts of, like, you know, the friendship, romantic relationship, family members. The same thing goes, any relationship that you feel too dependent. Just
be your own person. Have your own interests. It's not that hard. Just have your own interests. Doesn't matter what they are. Just do it. Have your own interests. It's fine. It's fine. Nothing wrong with that. You know, whatever. Like, that's everybody has to learn that eventually. Stop depending on other people. It's fine. So, all right. I think we did. I think we did it. That was a pretty straightforward question. She asked.
Yeah, that was a straightforward question.
It was a pretty good question.
I included it because, like you said, I don't think it's necessarily unique for college age, but I do think that is the first time that it hits really hard, and it's the hardest because you know, you're on your own, and
you're
a lot
alone.
of times you aren't living with your family. Like, you do spend a lot more time alone, and that's the reality. Is that's hard for a lot of people, and not always talked about.
Yep. No, 100%. Totally agree.
Solve it when you're 19, not 39 is the biggest advice on that I have.
Yep, totally agree.
The other thing I want to add, that if you start something like that and you realize one day, I don't like doing it, then stop doing it. Don't continue doing something because you like developed a hobby. If one day you don't like it anymore, find something else, because that's something that people get stuck. That's like happened to me. That's got, you know, where I get like, oh, I do this. You know, this is like somehow I've accumulated this as part of my personality, but I derive no joy from it anymore. And then you do it too long and you put yourself right back in that spot that you were in. So, like, stop doing things you don't like and then pick a new thing.
Yep, totally.
You know, that's another thing.
Totally agree. Only do things you like to do. Do them while you like to do them. Don't be embarrassed about what you like to do. As long as you're not murdering people or doing something illegal, it's fine. Do whatever the hell you like to do. Whatever makes you happy. You're fine. You're not weird. You know, whatever. All that you know, cliche stuff. That's all true, because everybody's got weird things that they like. Do whatever you like. If you don't like doing it, do something else. That's fine. Don't worry about it. You don't have to make a profession out of it. You don't have to get famous on Instagram. You don't have to do any of that stuff. You can just do it just to do it. But to have a reason for doing it, be productive, and it's gonna serve you in life. I guarantee it's gonna serve you in life. So no, I mean that's a really good point. It's a good point to end on. That's a really good thing to bring up at the end. You know, don't feel trapped by whatever your current hobbies are. They'll change, they'll evolve. All that stuff happens forever.
Yeah.
You know, I guarantee this girl doesn't even know what she's going to major in yet. So, you know, that's going to change 12 times. So, you know, your life's going to change. Let it happen. Just go with it. Yeah, no, I think no, that was a really good point to
Yeah.
bring up at the end. I think we helped her even more than I thought we would, honestly. At the end
Yeah, we're
there,
really good at this.
yeah, we're very good at this. So hopefully she hears that, she listens to it. If she in particular has questions, she can email us. Anybody else who has questions or ideas or whatever they want us to answer, they can email us too. But again, that's what we're here for. Step by step, we're trying to help people. Just be better in relationships, be happier, all that stuff. Hopefully people enjoy it. So, what's the email? The email again, they can reach us.
The email is info.yourrelationshipsucks@gmail.com.
All right, so you can hit us up there. You drop some comments or whatever, like that's fine. Uh, again, if you have questions that you want us to answer, we'll keep doing more of these college ones. We'll do, we're running the gamut. We're doing all kinds of different things. Yeah, we'll get do another question, answer some more, drop some wisdom on some young people in the next episode.